Okay, so we're going to have a look at the four sittings per annum and just some things to consider about this. Now, the four sittings per annum are there since 2015. So for a lot of students now, there's never been anything else bar the four sittings per annum. But for 20 years prior to that, we only had two exams in ACCA. We had June and December. And there's a lot to be said for there's a lot to be said for June and December, that there was a benefit to it, because everybody was in the same boat there and people were sitting two exams in June and two exams in December. The four sittings per annum, ACCA introduced it. It's a great idea in a lot of ways, because if you fail an exam in June, you can sit it in September and you don't have to wait until December to start the thing again. All right. But the big disadvantage to it, and the thing to be careful of, is people that just kind of sleepwalk or just kind of drift along through the year and are just falling into sitting an exam, maybe failing it, sitting it again, maybe moving to another exam, coming back to an exam and what have you, and it causes a lot of grief, and it puts an awful lot of, I've seen people really stressed out with this thing because they're constantly getting ready to sit exams and are waiting for results, and it becomes a never-ending cycle. So you need to have a bit of that's again where you need to have the plan. You need to know that you're going to stick to maybe two sittings, June and December, and maybe use the March and September maybe as a repeat or whatever. Okay, but just be. It's brilliant in a lot of ways. In most ways, it's brilliant. But just be careful that you don't that you don't end off kind of into a never-ending cycle as far as these exams are concerned. Now, another thing just to be conscious of is that some employers have a restriction on this, and the main restriction is on March, because especially in accountancy firms, it will be a very busy time. So if you are going to sit exams in March in particular, just make sure that there isn't any restrictions in the practice. Okay, or some industries as well put a restriction because they don't want people disappearing at 4 different times of the year. So they'll tell you that you can't, maybe you might be able to use only 2 of them, you might be able to use 3 of them, maybe they haven't given any consideration and they're happy for you to go whenever. But as you'd imagine, a lot of firms and companies don't want people disappearing for a period of time 4 times a year, especially in the busy periods. All right? So just be conscious of that as far as the 4 sittings are concerned. Now, the 4 sittings, again, it's in red there, and I keep mentioning it time and time again, you need a plan for yourself. As I said, the main thing is to consider, are you going to do an exam 4 times a year, or are you going to do 2 June and 2 December, or maybe 2 March and 2 September, okay, whatever works best for you. More and more people, to be honest, are doing the 1 exam 4 times a year. Okay, there's more and more people going into that type of a routine. Okay, but it's totally up to yourself as to what you think will work best for yourself. There's the next 4 sittings. September 2019 is coming up in a couple of weeks. We have courses running for that at the moment. Then December 2019 starts on the week beginning the 26th of August, and that will run for 13 weeks from the end of August to the last week in November, then leading into December. And then there'll be a course start then in January, around January the 13th for March 2020, and then the June one then will start at the end of February. Okay, you can sit 4 exams per sitting, but no more than 8 in a calendar year. Now, somebody sitting 8 exams in a calendar year, like, that's fair one, like, all right. Even 4 exams in a sitting. I've seen people do it, but normally people are doing 2, maybe 3. All right, but they're the rules anyway. They're the restrictions as far as how many you can do a year. You can't do any more than 8 exams per annum. Okay. Okay, so. Now, a word of warning as well on what we call the short courses, the March and the September courses. As far as running courses are concerned, it becomes very difficult from an administration point of view and from a structure point of view when there's 4 sittings per annum. Because, for example, when the students sit the exams in September, those results won't be out until around the 15th of October. Whereas the course starts at the end of August for December. So there's a little bit of time where you're waiting to figure out what your results are going to be. When people sit the exams in December, the results come out on the 13th of January. We can't start courses until the results come out. So they do the exams the first week in December. The results come out on the 13th of January. So we can't start courses because people don't know what they want to do. We start the course on the 13th of January. And the course is finished by the end of February, so that you can sit an exam in March. It's actually a 6-week course. At the moment, I'm doing one on financial reporting, and students are in with me Tuesday nights, Thursday nights, and Saturday for 6 weeks. So it's very, very full on, like, and it's the same for March. So the structure of the courses is very, very different for March and September versus June and December. Some people love it because for the 6 weeks you're doing nothing but whatever the subject is. It's only started and you're into the exam and everything is fresh in your head, but it's very, very intense. So just to be conscious that if you're doing a course, now it's different for the first 3 papers, okay, because those times we only run those 3 times a year, okay. This doesn't apply to the applied skills, the applied knowledge, sorry, the first 3 exams, because we only have timetables for them for 3 times of the year. But for the applied knowledge and the strategic professional, these things apply. Okay, so March and September are the short courses. They'll be intense. All right, intense should be underlined there, and it should be in red. You'll have 2 evenings per week and a Saturday or a Sunday, because there's the same number of sessions for March as there is for June, except for the June it's a 13-week course, whereas for March it's only a 6-week course. So it's a hell of a lot more condensed. Like that includes then trying to get the revision course and everything in. All right. Issues to consider if you're going to do March or September, you wouldn't want to have any other. You wouldn't want to be thinking of getting married, like. Okay, you probably wouldn't even want to be thinking of going on holidays, obviously, for that couple of weeks. Kind of crazily, for the September, you would come across people that would register for a 6-week course, and then in the middle of it they go on holidays for a week or 10 days or something, obviously, which isn't fantastic, like. All right, but anyway, it's very achievable. But there is clearly a high level of commitment required for the March and September. Now, it's really that you're just forearmed on that, okay? Because every sitting with the March and September, we have people who come in, they sign up for the course, they come along, and then they're shocked with the level of intensity. They just haven't considered like that. If you don't start the course until the end of January, and you're doing an exam the first week in March, that obviously is going to be a fairly intense course, like, all right? So as far as next year is concerned, let's say, the results will come out on the 13th of January from the December exam. We'll start courses immediately for March, and then for June, we'll start those at the tail end of February, the last week in February. So the June course will go from the end of February through to the end of May. So it's clearly a lot longer. Right? Okay, so that's to be warned. There's the December 2019 course, okay, just as far as dates are concerned. It starts the week beginning Monday the 26th of August. Okay, that's when most courses are going to start. The first 3 papers, the accounting and business, financial accounting, management accounting, they start in the middle of September. There are timetables available for all of these on the website at the moment. All right, but most of the courses start on the 26th of August. There will be some weekend dates because there's between 13 and 16 sessions depending on the course. And if there's only, let's say, 10 or 12 weeks, there's a Saturday and or a Sunday put in the middle of the timetable to make up the sessions. A Saturday basically is worth 2 sessions because there's the morning and there's the afternoon. A session is 3 hours. Okay, so there may be some weekends on the longer course, the December course. The December course is 13 weeks long. The revision courses will start in November, and there'll be a mock exam in the last week of November, and then you'll do your exams then the first week in December. Okay, so that's in general how the courses run. There's obviously timetables then for each individual subject. Right? For March, which will be the next short course, the March 2020, that will start. Again, remember the people, when you're doing your December exam, that exam is on the first week in December. Those results will come out on the week beginning Monday the 13th of January. So when they come out on the 13th of January, the March course will start straight away. So if you want to sit exams in December and March, you'll be off basically for the month of December and for most of January. But when you come back at the middle of January, you're going to be full on for a couple of weeks. Now it works very well for people for March, like, because unless you're very busy at work, what else are you going to be doing in February? You know, you're still kind of trying to get over all the drink and the turkey from Christmas. You have no money, like, so you may as well be in here for 5 or 6 weeks trying to get a subject out of the way. But if you are going to sit a subject in March, obviously one subject is more than enough, especially if you're working, because you'll be in 2 evenings and a Saturday. All right. So it begins the 13th of January. There's no tax papers, so F6 and or tax and advanced tax. They're only available twice a year. Okay. they're only available in June and December. So just be conscious of that when you're planning the papers you're going to sit. There's no tax papers sat in June or December. The reason for that is because they're Irish variants. So ACCA don't offer the variants except twice a year because of the demand for them versus the likes of an SPR or something, which is the same paper is sat all over the world, right? So for the variant papers, there's only papers available in June and December. Just when I'm saying that, I suppose I should say that, especially for people at the start, that for the law paper, you should take on the UK law paper, because the UK law paper is fundamentally it's the same as Irish law. Very, very little difference until the feckers set up Brexit and what have you. But anyway, but it's fundamentally the same: contract law, business law, etc. But from a strategic point of view, the UK law paper is a computer-based exam, an on-demand computer-based exam, similar to F1, F2 and F3, the first three papers. So you can sit it whenever you want, as often as you want. Whereas the Irish tax paper is a variant, so it's only available twice a year in the week in June and the week in December. There's an awful lot more material available for the UK paper than there is for the Irish paper, simply because of the volume of people doing it. So it's advisable to do the UK UK law, yeah. It has to be Irish law, okay, sorry. It has to be Irish tax. You have to do the Irish tax variants, but you should do the UK law variant. All right. Okay, so as far as March is concerned, it's very intense. It starts 13th of January. You're starting a revision course a couple of weeks later at the end of February. There's a mock exam the last week in February, and then you're set up to do an exam the first week in March. It's a lot of people are doing it. It's very, very doable. Pass rates are as good as September or as June and December, but just to be conscious of the pressure that you'll be under for those couple of weeks. All right. Okay, so that's the four sittings per annum. All right. Now the structure of our courses here. The lectures are the main thing, okay, be it the short course, the 6-week course, or the 13-week course. You'll have exactly the same number of sessions, okay, but obviously, as I've mentioned, for the long courses you only have one session a week and the occasional Saturday. For the short courses, 2 sessions a week, and more often than not a Saturday as well, Saturday or Sunday. So with the lectures, we develop a thorough understanding of the topic so that it can be applied to case study questions. There'll be a lot of practicing questions. There's a lot of homework. There's homework given out at the end of every lecture. There's progress tests as you go along. There's a revision course at the end of the course, so everything is brought together. There's normally weekends involved in that, a Saturday and a Sunday, and maybe 2 other sessions, then 2 evenings. Okay, and then there's a mock exam, which gives you a bit of practice to get ready for the computer-based exam, which most of them are now, or the paper-based exam if you're doing the strategic professional. The strategic professional papers will be computer-based exams as well from March 2020. Okay, so it'll all be computer-based at that stage. Okay, we use BPP. We use BPP material because it's platinum approved. All of the lecturers would have their own notes as well that will be given out and will be worked on. So you won't need anything else from a materials point of view apart from what you get when you register. You get lecture notes, you get study texts, and you get practice and revision kits. Okay. Okay. That brings us on to the option papers. So I think I'll put this as a